How you liking the hair, boys? It's getting quite long, right? I'm no longer doing government work, so I don't have to get this mop cut off anymore. So that's the nice part about, not being obligated to do any particular job except for going to school. Perks of being a prior DoD member. And anyways, one thing I did want to talk about was, and if you're savvy about watching the YouTube shorts and staying clued up on this particular channel, Physiology for the Uninitiated, it's you would see that I had a couple of posts that were in foreign countries. Not too long ago, I backpacked through Europe, which I've been wanting to speak about it, but I haven't had the time to really sit down and flesh out that experience just yet. I have videos that I recorded that I wanted to post onto this channel. I just didn't really feel as though there was any congruence with it. So it was July timeframe that I was backpacking through Europe. And I think I just want to talk about some of the lessons that I got out of literally walking through Europe. Obviously, to get from city to city, I went train to train, or I went train station to train station from one city to the next. The cool thing about Europe is that it's incredibly close together. I'm assuming that's the right word. Geographically, every single country is so close together. All you need is a passport and enough money to hop on the next train, and then boom, you just crossed into the south of France, and now motherfuckers are speaking French to you and some shit like that. So I guess I'll just flesh it out. My 100 subscriber video is uploading right now, and I guess while I let it upload, I might as well talk about this experience with you guys really quickly. So there I am. Just kidding. So a while back, a friend of mine and I, we were both in the Marines together. Newsflash, I was in the Marines, and we were talking about things that we wanted to do before we died, and he and I got to chatting, and I texted him one night and I said, "Hey dude, I'm gonna buy a flight to Portugal. I've always wanted to go. I'm just gonna do it." And he was like, "Dude, yeah, me too." Fast forward, we do all this planning, and for a couple of months, come July timeframe, we're flying to Europe, except we're flying to initially Stockholm, Sweden. I know that's a long way from Portugal, but trust me, the story gets weird. So I'm flying out to Stockholm, Sweden, and my buddy is tailing me the day after. We're supposed to fly into Stockholm and then catch a flight immediately from Stockholm into Malta, where we have an Airbnb waiting for us. That plan quickly comes to an end, at least for me, and not my buddy. And so my flight gets redirected to Lisbon, Portugal, which, surprise, surprise, I wanted to go to Portugal anyway. So it was not a loss for me whatsoever. I was like, reroute to Lisbon, Portugal, and I'm gonna miss the flight to Malta anyway when I connect to Stockholm, because it'll be the next day that I would connect into Stockholm. I have nothing in Sweden for me. There's nothing in Sweden for me. So I figure, I'm hopping off at Lisbon. I don't give a fuck. And so I was like, all right, I'm sleep deprived, I'm tired as hell, and I'm just gonna figure it out. I have not a place to stay. Like, our Airbnb was in Malta. Malta is just south of Italy. It's a little tiny island in the south of Italy, in the middle of the Mediterranean. I hear it's beautiful. I never went. So, after that, I hop off at Lisbon. As soon as I get out of the airport, I walk up to a lady she's like a fucking like advocate for Palestine or some shit like that. Advocating for something, you know? And so I walk up to this lady and I say, hey, I'm trying to get out of Portugal. What's the quickest way out? She goes, the train. I say, yeah, the train. So I look over at the train and I was like, east, west? And she was like, yeah, take that one. It will take you east. I think she was guessing because I just hopped onto this train and then it took me north. And luckily I had phone service, so I could pull up my map and I didn't feel so lost. I'm looking left and right and I'm looking at the people. Surprise, surprise, way more African people in Portugal than what I was initially imagining. And I also didn't go to the beach. I saw the beach, the Atlantic Ocean from the aircraft. I said, wow, that's beautiful. As soon as I hopped off, I hopped onto the train. So, you could tell, like, there's sleep deprivation written all over this. I should have just, like, got a hotel, experienced the nightlife, hung out on the beach, talked to some pretty girls, but I didn't decide to do that. I just went straight onto a train, rode up north, and realized, like, oh, I'm heading north to the next country, or the next country, Spain, but I'm trying to go east, and because that's where I know like Madrid and Barcelona are. I didn't want to be in any small towns. I wanted to mix in with the people. I wanted to get a taste of what Spain and Portugal really had to offer. Even though I was like literally leaving Lisbon that day. So I hop onto the train, and then I have to hop off of that train, and like navigating like how to get the train tickets and all that stuff. When you're new to that, like you're going to the kiosk and you're like the train ticket kiosk, and you're like, damn it, I just want to talk to a human for this. I don't speak Portuguese, and then you're like clicking the English thing or the UK flag, and you're like, fucking hell, man, like I'm an inconvenience to myself for not knowing how to speak the language. And I was like, it's alright, my Spanish is okay, wink wink, my Spanish is alright, so when we get to Spain it'll be fine, right? And so I hop off. Eventually I start going west, right? I got into the right train going west, and I'm making it to this city, and they're saying like the last stop is called Contracamento. It's a border town on the border of Portugal and Spain. So I hop off at this particular train station, the small town, and I'm like, when's the last time a fucking American has been here? So I hop off, and I'm a confident guy, so I'll ask around and ask for questions and stuff like that. I remember, the tickets please guy asked me for the ticket, and I pulled out a ticket, and he was like, oh, this is a city ticket, I need like a regional ticket or something like that. And I was like, I don't know, man, sorry, I have money. And I like pulled out a bunch of euros. He was like, all right. But he gave me a pass on this one, and we both got dropped off at Contracamento, and then he's like talking to me and stuff, and he's like, you're stuck here. And I was like, what? And he was like, where are you trying to go? And then I pulled up my map, and I was like, I guess I'm trying to go to Badajoz? Badajoz? And he goes, he looks at the phone and he goes, Badajoz! Badajoz! I say, okay. Bought a horse. He's like, yeah, bought a horse. So we go up to the guy, the tickets guy at the train station. He goes, hey, I bought one ticket to bought a horse. And then the guy's like, I bought a horse. And then hands me a ticket. I'm like, thank you. You're like, I bought a horse. And I was like, yeah, I bought a horse. So that's a city in Spain that's on the border, like I said, next bordering, but it's in Spain. And so I'm like, all right, I gotta figure it out for the night, I guess. And so I was like, all right, so pretty much gotta get a hotel. So I walk over to the nearest hotel. It's like a 5-star fucking hotel. This guy tells me they're all filled up except for like a fucking 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom suite or something. And I was like, I don't need that. And it was also like 200 or like 150 euro. And I was like, for one night? That's not smart. And I was like, we're gonna be in Europe for a while, and I don't need to be spending 150 euros for one night. And so I was like, all right, is there any other location? And the guy points me off into fucking no man's land, and he's like, in this neighborhood over there, it's a 4-star hotel. You didn't hear from me. And I said, fair enough. He was like, be careful. And I was like, yeah, will do. And I hopped out, grabbed a Coca-Cola from the nearest store, and started walking my way over to this 4-star hotel. Eventually I get there, and it was nice. Sun was setting. I made it there just fine. Got the room. Walked up to my hotel room. Dropped everything off. Walked back down outside. Figured catch the sunset. I mean, I wasn't gonna see the sunset, but watch the colors change from orange to dark, just to set that circadian rhythm. I've been hyped up on this trip all this time, and I figured it was time to wind on down. So I'm in this city that I don't know anything the fuck about in Portugal, Contra Comento, and my buddy's calling me and telling me, like, hey, like, I'm en route, I'm going to Sweden. I tell him, like, hey man, I'm not going to be meeting you in Sweden, I'm not going to be meeting you in Malta. I'm stuck here in Portugal in a city I don't know the fucking anything about. I'm trying to get to this town called Badajoz. And he goes, oh, well, good luck. And I was like, Airbnb's all yours. Try to get that rental car and then we'll link up. And he was like, yeah. That's part one of the story of the Europe excursion. I'll wrap it up eventually. I'll stop right there.